Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Listen, XRPC, Canary's spot XRP ETF, just hit 58 million in day one volume. Not from BlackRock, not from Fidelity, from a smaller issuer on a red day for crypto. So, what does this actually say about XRP and the coming XRP ETFs? And what Ripple is wiring up with Ripple Prime and Evernorth? Let's break down what this launch really proved and why I think it's a preview of what's about to hit the XRP ecosystem big time. And so, I had to go to my boy. I had to go to my partner in crime, ChatGPT. We're going to get into it. I'm going to share some thoughts with you guys. It was very, very interesting, to say the least, today's event. Unfortunately, lots of liquidation. I think over 500 million in liquidations. Eric Balcuna posted, "Congrats to XRPC for 58 million in day one volume, the most of any ETA launched this year out of 900, barely edging out B Sol. I think is Bitwise Solana spot ETF. Think, which was at 57 million. The two of them are in leagues of their own, though, as third place is over 20 million away. So I had to go to my guy, find out what's going on here. I had to go to my guy, find out what's going on here. I said, I think this speaks volumes. What do you make of this success with this one particular XRP ETF? And I think 4 or 5 larger players launch XRP ETFs are to follow. Tells me a lot, honestly, says ChatGPT. Short version, there is way more pent-up demand for a clean, regulated XRP wrapper than people thought. Only some. And it's arriving exactly as Ripple is wiring up the institutional plumbing. So let's unpack it. What does $58 million day one volume actually mean? XRPC did 58 million in the first day volume, the highest of any ETF launch in 2025, barely beating out, there's Bitwise Solana staking ETF, which is massive because this is a staking ETF at 57 million. That's not normal for a small issuer. Remember, this is Canary, not BlackRock or Fidelity, and a product on a coin that's allegedly dead and ignored. If you listen to the Bitcoin maxis, and it happened on a red day for crypto, which Bloomberg's Seifert explicitly called out as impressive. All right, so here's some things. Day one ETFs, like all ETFs, volume is mostly market maker seeding, arbitrage desk, trading tests, traders testing spreads, et cetera, et cetera. We all know it's typical, but they only show up in size where they expect sustained two-way flow. They clearly think XRP has it. So tiny AUM plus massive volume equal people were waiting for this. People were waiting for it. In terms of AUM, it's not very big at all. Yet the first day launch success speaks volumes. So exactly. Canary's XRPC is brand new with modest assets so far, but still pulled off or pulled top of the year volume. Again, it's small. It's a small, modest, player here. That screams latent demand for the wrapper, not just a coin. Advisors and RIAs who can't touch spot XRP on Kraken or Binance, TradFi funds that can't hold crypto assets directly, but can buy an ETF. U.S. retirement accounts, IRAs, and 401k platforms that only onboard via ticker symbols. And because XRPC holds actual XRP in custody with Bitcoin and Gemini, it's not futures or swaps. Every meaningful AUM build is structural buy pressure on the underlying asset. So small fund, big message. So what does this say about future XRP ETFs? If a niche issuer like Canary can outvolume every other ETF launched this year and basically match a Bitwise Solana product that had a huge marketing push and a nine-figure AUM at launch, then the logical inference is when the big boys, Bitwise, VanEck, whoever else files, I know it's 4 or 5 still to come, right? When they roll out XRP ETF, the pipes are already proven. The risk for them is not demand, it's being late, right? And I think we got a Bitwise XRP ETF filing, word on the street, it's about to happen type deal. So you got a regulatory backdrop where the XRP Ripple saga is largely resolved, and the SEC is clearly winning to approve altcoin spot products. Clearly. And I would say the XRP Ripple saga is done, right? So I would read, says ChatGPT, XRP as proof of concept for the category, a green light to 4 to 5 larger players that, yes, there's real tradable demand. Now, how does this fit with Ripple Prime and Evernorth, which is, the full stack here? Zoom out, and it's wild how neatly this lines up with what Ripple is building. Market infrastructure with Ripple Prime. Ripple bought Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime for $1.25 billion, becoming the first crypto firm to own a global multi-asset prime broker. That's now Ripple Prime, a smart prime brokerage integrating FX, digital assets, derivatives, swaps, and fixed income for institution. Then we got the treasury slant XRP, quote unquote, microstrategy angle. Evernorth. I don't think Ashish Burla liked the comparison to MicroStrategy. Evernorth, backed by Ripple, is listing on NASDAQ via SPAC and expects to raise, I think it already raised $1 billion, right? To accumulate XRP as treasury asset. I think they did. Becoming the largest publicly traded XRP treasury company. Simple regulated wrapper XRPC plus future ETFs. Canary's XRPC gives retail, REITs, funds, and corporates a clean 1940 Act style spot exposure vehicle custody by Gemini. Put together, you've got a 3-layer stack for XRP. Top of funnel ETFs like XRP, C, easy ticker access from every brokerage screen. Balance sheet layers, Evernorth and other XRP treasuries, which leads to corporate/institutional hodlers. Execution and the leverage layer, Ripple Prime, prime brokerage, cross margining, and liquidity for those same institutions. So when you see record ETF launch volume on a product that plugs directly into that stack, the message is the ecosystem is ready. The users were just waiting for compliant pipes, for the compliant plumbing. So congrats to the XRP ecosystem. Congrats to Canary for launching this. And it is, in my humble opinion, it is just the beginning. The pent up demand is clearly there. Clearly there. Record day for day one volume on a red day. Bitcoin below 100,000. Interesting stuff. So again, congrats to the whole XRP ecosystem. It's just the beginning. And if you're a holder of this valuable asset, the best is yet to come. All right, fam, I'm going to wrap it up here. Appreciate you guys checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Siege, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and we're already winning. And I would ask you to ponder this, or perhaps I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.